You've reached Conversation with Mr. A. This is your host, Anthony Apostilla. Thank you for listening. Let's get right to the episode. Welcome to Conversations with Mr. A. This is your host, Anthony Apostilla. So today's going to be a fun one. I am interviewing an old student of mine from 4 or 5 years ago, Tommy Chilson. He was an 8th grader back when I was working at the middle school here in Kitsap County. Now he is going to be an upcoming senior student for Bremerton High School. Tommy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So, Tommy, what does it feel like to be heading into your senior year coming up?
I'm not a big fan of it. I don't want to get out of school yet. I do kind of like some things about it, but at the same time, it'll be less stress.
Okay. It's been several years since I've seen you. You were in 8th grade when I worked with you. When you think back to your 8th grade year, what stands out the most?
Friends. A lot of my friends that I had back then, I don't even talk to anymore. Like one of my best friends I haven't spoke to since I think sophomore year. And it hit hard, but it was one of those where you find out what real friends are. So
I was going to kind of piggyback on that a little bit. I was going to ask you what one lesson have you learned in high school that surprised you? Was that one of them? Just kind of finding out who your real friends are?
Yes. That is a main one. And learning about how reckless high school can be, but live and learn.
Were there any teachers or experiences that kind of helped you along the way the last several years?
Definitely her name is Miss Hush. She was my freshman, sophomore, and junior. It's the special plan. Yeah, the special plan I have. And she was also my ELA teacher and everything, and she was a big help. She's been there for things that I didn't really know how to do, and I needed a lot of help with.
Sounds like she helped you along the way, and she's been a good mentor for you.
Yeah, and same with Miss Reese.
Awesome.
Which was my science teacher, which I love science, so.
Cool. Did anyone help you much in your 8th grade year?
Yeah, you.
Oh, me? Oh, nah.
Yeah, you were a big help.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, man. One thing when we worked together back in 8th grade, I remember cars. You've always been into cars. When did your love of cars really start?
I started working on cars when I was walking. By 3 years old, I had a wrench in my hand.
Any specific cars that you really liked?
A 1991 Dodge Stealth my dad had when I was younger, and I'm actually going out in a month and buying my own. I found one in Spokane, Washington that I'm going to get in literally 10 days.
Oh, wow.
It's a twin-turbo V6 from factory with a 5-speed manual all-wheel drive.
Cool.
And it actually has rear steer that turns with the car.
That kind of answered my next question, because I was going to ask what kind of builds of car projects have you worked on so far?
That's not my only one.
No? Go on. Elaborate.
So I have a 2006 Hyundai Sonata. It had stage 2 cams in it, had lower end upgrades and a tune. That blew up at 324,000 miles, which is unheard of for Hyundai. They don't ever last that long. And then I have a 2001 Volkswagen Beetle, which is my race car. It was my grandpa's Beetle. He always thought it would be cool to have a race car, and so when he passed, I thought it was a great idea to build it. Well, now it makes 620 horsepower, and it's a fully built drag car for the drag strip, and I plan on racing it next summer when it's ready to go.
Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with cars, can you kind of give a description how fast you can go? For those of you who aren't familiar.
My top speed is 174 miles an hour, which it's a tiny little two-door, and it only weighs 2,800 pounds, so weight to engine power, there's like none, so they're really balanced, and it's very quick. And it's a 5-speed manual, so, and I'm planning on putting a sequential shifter in it, which most people don't know what that is. What it is instead of having an H pattern when you shift a manual, you have a sequential shifter where it just clicks forward, and it shifts the gears quicker.
Wow.
So you can go down the strip faster.
What tools or skills did you have to learn to work on cars?
Math. Math is a big one. If you don't know math, don't even start, because math is the baseline of everything. You've got fractions, you've got calculus you have to do. You have to know geometry. You got to know all kinds of stuff, because if you don't, you can mess things up. And if you do one wrong move on certain cars, and just most of them, you will blow up a motor or you will hurt yourself in the long run. I have learned that lesson.
Nice.
Because it was a pretty scary lesson too. So.
Where do you usually work on your cars? Garage, a shop, driveway?
My driveway. I have my own little shed that I work on that I have all my tools in. Over the past 2 years, I've acquired probably $13,000 worth of tools. And my fully built race car, that was the main one. That was where a lot of money went, because it broke in February, and I had to spend $8,000 to get it back on the road.
Wow.
Because I had to put a fully built transmission in it, because I tried doing a burnout, and I split my transmission into 2 pieces. Whew. Like that. It was instant. And it was scary, because it literally went clunk, and nothing happened anymore. My clutch went to the floor and got stuck there.
Sounds like a lot of hard knocks.
Yeah, and I'm still working on it to this day. I'm still having problems with that damn transmission. And it's a fully built one.
Now, I know you mentioned your grandpa. I'm just wondering, besides your grandpa, who or what inspires you when it comes to building or modifying cars?
My mom. My mom is my biggest contributor. She's the one that always tells me not to give up. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have any of the cars I have. A long time ago, I would have sold my '06 Sonata. But she's the one that told me to keep going, and now it sits in my driveway with no engine and transmission in it, just a shell. And I'm getting ready for when I get my other car, I can actually use that as a daily driver and start working on the other one.
Now, you mentioned about your transmission kind of blowing up. Have you had any other setbacks or moments when things didn't go as planned?
When my other car blew up, yeah. And
What happened there?
It reached 324,000 miles, and I knew it needed timing chain replacement. I didn't have the money or the time, and so the timing chain's tensioner snapped, and it sent my pistons colliding with the valves on the heads of the engine, which that's a big no-no, because it literally collapses everything and breaks everything. So it blew up my motor like that.
Wow.
And it literally gunshotted 3 times so loud it sounded like a gun going off in your ear.
Wow.
Yeah, it sucked.
Now, what is the skill that you're proud of that you've developed outside of school, and maybe even cars like us? Because it's been several years since I've seen you.
Diagnosing cars. I've been working really hard on that. A little bit with my dad's help, not much, but a little bit. And it's a good thing to know, because if you don't know how to diagnose, you're just going to keep replacing parts, and it's a big hole that you don't want to go down, because there's no point. I mean, what's the point of not knowing what it is and just replacing parts? You're just replacing them to replace them.
It just becomes a waste of money, it sounds like.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
I'm just wondering, for yourself, now, senior year's coming up. I know we talked a little bit offline before we started this interview. Has some ups and downs. How do you balance school responsibilities and your car passion? Like, where do you find your balance?
When I get home from school, I work on my cars, and then I go to work. And it's one of those where it's mostly the weekends I have my most time. Like right now, one of my best friend's neighbors, she crashed her car, and I'm currently rebuilding the whole front end for her. And she's a single mom, needed help, and she's paying me to rebuild the whole car.
Wow.
So
now, let's use the positives. When you graduate, not if you graduate, but when you graduate after this school year, what are your plans after graduation? Are you thinking college, trade school, continue to work?
I'm going to be going to Universal Technical Institute. Career day in sophomore year, I got a actual phone number from the lady that was there. She told me when I graduate to call her, because she was very impressed with my skills. And I'm going to be going to Phoenix, Arizona for a year or two, how long, to get my factory certification in General Motors, so I can work anywhere for a General Motors company.
Congratulations on that. Just for the listeners who don't know, Universal Technical Institute, UTI, is one of the top automotive schools in the entire nation. And so for you to be able to get in there, I'm proud of you. That is remarkable. You've got to be excited.
I am excited. I've always wanted to go to a mechanic school. It was either Wyotech or them, and I chose them because they're actually planning on buying out Wyotech if they haven't already.
Are you going to be a little bit nervous, though, about the move, kind of moving out of the comfort zone?
No, not really. This actually, when I turn 18 in a month, I'm probably moving out to Spokane, Washington. I won't probably be here anymore. Not a big fan of this place. Lived here my whole life. It's not for me.
You're ready to spread your wings a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I plan on getting an apartment out there and going to school out there because they have a lot of trade schools out there, because I want to take a year and do something small before I jump into college and all that stuff, because I want a year of just me time.
Sure. Kind of get yourself to kind of discover yourself and kind of figure out who you are.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, obviously, the obvious question, do you see yourself pursuing a career in the automotive world? I think that's a definitive yes.
Yes. That is my mission. And honestly, originally it wasn't my profession that I wanted to do. I come from a line of mechanics. I'm the fourth generation of my name, Thomas Edward Chilson. And my great-grandfather had his own shop. My grandpa had his own shop. My dad runs his own business for mechanics. But my thing is originally I actually wanted to be a police officer or a fireman, one of those. But when I started working on cars, I fit in with it. I like it. It's fun to me, and it makes my brain work.
A lot of hard work. Now, if you could build a dream car, your personal dream car, what would it be and why?
A 1989 Chevrolet Camaro IROC Z. It's a 454 big block carbureted engine. Some of them came fuel injected, not many of them. It's been my all-time favorite car since I was a young child. If it wasn't that, it would probably be a 1983 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am to make it like a Kit from Knight Rider.
Pontiac Trans Am. For the listeners out there, check it out. It is a beautiful, beautiful car. Okay, so one thing I want to kind of ask. So, like I said, we connected way back. You know, I was your school counselor, 21, 22. What would the Tommy Chilson of now, 2025, tell the Tommy Chilson of back then in 2022?
Get your head out of your ass and work. Stop fooling around, because it screwed me over in the long run.
Well, I just remember, you know, we kind of worked, and then as I've gotten to know you a little bit, I think you've definitely grown up in a good way. You've grown up, and you've definitely learned some lessons, good lessons.
Yeah, when my grandpa died, it was a big eye-opener for me. It was the hardest time in my life. I've never had that happen. I've had a lot of family problems in my life, been through a lot of things, had a lot of things happen to me, but it was one of those where he was like a father to me, and he was my role model, and when he went, it broke me, and then I had to rebuild myself.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for just kind of... I'm curious, how did you rebuild yourself? Because, I mean, some people, they could have... When things like that happen, some people can choose to just sit there and just give up, or just become like, just totally nonchalant, don't give a care. But you chose to go the other way. What kind of drove you?
I did nonchalant. I did that. I went the most way people go, but then I thought about it, and my grandpa wouldn't have wanted that. My grandpa was one of those where you work and you show what you've done. And what drove me was... ever since he passed, my car was sitting in the driveway, and it was one of those where it was like more of spiritual, but it was like the car wanted to go, and my bug hadn't been running in months. It would start, but you couldn't get it to move very far because the engine was just, it was in really rough shape. And so that's what drove me to repair it, and honestly, working on cars is where I'm happy. I like doing it. It makes my brain work. It gives me joy. And most people say that, going into the profession that you love doing as a hobby, don't do it. But my thing is I'm probably going to hate it when I'm, 30, 40 years old. But it's one of those where I've already gone so far, why not keep doing something I'm good at?
And that you love.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the things that I've worked for my whole life. Like now, I'm my mom's personal mechanic. I work on my sister's cars. My mom has a 2004 Tahoe that was completely stock, but when I got my hands on it, it's been all retrofitted with LED custom everything. It has a lift kit on it now, straight piped exhaust. I did all of it, and she loves it. It's like her favorite vehicle she's ever had now.
Awesome. Okay, so for the last part of the interview, let's have some fun. The word I always use to everybody, word association. I'm going to give you maybe one or two words, and just tell me the first thing that comes to mind. And this is just random fun topics. Everyone knows this. I say this almost every episode, the running joke. I really, really hate pickles. So the first thing I'll start with is pickles. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Kosher dill pickles with pickled eggs. It's one of my favorite foods.
All right, no judgment there. Happy Gilmore.
Angry Golf Man.
Netflix.
Hanging out with my girlfriend.
Okay. Pizza.
Yummy.
Okay. Sushi.
Yummy.
Horror movies.
Love them.
Okay. Romantic movies.
Hate them.
Country music.
Love it.
Rap music.
Tupac.
How about alternative rock?
It's my favorite kind of music.
Okay.
I listen to all kinds of bands. Def Leppard, Nickelback, AC/DC, Ozzy, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Megadeth, Journey, Seether, all of them.
Good music. Good taste.
My mom raised me right.
Social media.
Instagram. That's where I show most of my car stuff. I am really active on there with my Beetle. I don't make videos of it, but I do post edits and stuff of it because I'm really proud of it. If you actually want to come see it, every year I go to the Elks Car Show at the Elks Lodge over, it's close to here, and it is there every year, and next year my Stealth will be there too.
Awesome. Cars.
My cars, my dad's Stealth.
Okay. About cell phones.
Hate them. Wish they weren't a thing because I'm dependent on that damn thing.
How about friendships?
One of my a few of my best friends, J.P. Losh, Ryder Thomas, and Trinity Meisler, and Zach Haney, and Skylar, I don't know his last name. And they're the ones that work on cars with me. If you needed anything to know about carbureted engines, Ryder's your man. Anything that's newer, me and JP. He loves Hondas. He has a 1991 Acura Integra in Mystic Blue, and it actually got stolen a few months ago. And within 9 hours, they did $35,000 worth of damage to it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a beautiful car, and they just tore it up to shreds. They just thought it was their new go-to-town vehicle.
Sorry.
Yeah, it sucks. It was his first car, and I'm actually the one that stole it back.
Oh.
We went to where it was, and because he had a tracker in it, and we found out where it was. I hotwired it, and I drove it out of there.
I'm sure he's grateful.
Yeah, he was trying to do it, and he couldn't figure out how to do it, so I ripped him out of the driver's seat, and I did it.
All right, so Tommy, any last things you want to say to our listeners? Final words or anything?
If you're in middle school or high school, work. Do your schoolwork. Get it done, because if you just get it done, you won't have to worry about it. Don't slack off. Get it done so you can graduate and live your life. Now that I'm old enough to actually think about this and everything, middle school, I slacked off a whole bunch. I was not a good student in middle school, but now I actually am.
And I'm proud of you. Thank you so much, Tommy, for your time.
Yeah, it was good to see you.
Too. And that concludes this edition of Conversations with Mr. A with Tommy Chilson. So proud of my student. So again, just to give everyone a quick recap, background, Tommy was my student about 4 years ago, and he worked for Bremerton School District at a middle school. Mountain View Middle School is in 8th grade, and now he's going to be a senior. And just the fact how he's turned himself around, he kind of worked his way back up, kind of learned about hard work and discipline, made me proud, made me really proud. Makes my job as a school counselor worth it, knowing that I've made somewhat of a difference. So thank you, Tommy, for your time. Thank you for the interview, and just thank you for the reflections. It was definitely a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Stay tuned for more episodes.